Hi, I'm Holly.
And I'm Raj from the Primal Desire.
Today we had the pleasure of chatting with Zach from...
Filter Off, a new dating app.
It's a video speed dating app.
We gave it a try last night, and they had a Paleo / Keto event.
We had a video / It was my first time. I experienced speed dating for the first time last night on Get.
Oh, that's true. That was my first as well.
Yeah.
I'd been signed up for a couple things, and they always got canceled. So, Zach.
Yeah.
Tell us about Filter Off. What is it?
Sure. Yeah. So Filter Off, it's a video speed dating app. We run virtual speed dating events. Events can be locally based, so different cities around the world. And we also run community-based events. So a community-based event could be like a Paleo and Keto date night, or it could be even run by a community itself. So you could even create your own event within the Filter Off app, so your community could date one another.
Gotcha. So your users create your communities.
So it's twofold. So we run public events, and then we also have community-based events that are private just to the community. So you need to have a code to join the community-based events.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And how long has your app been around?
Yeah, so we started about 3 years ago. We got out of beta 1 month before the pandemic. And in April of 2020, that's when we really took off, covered by the New York Times, BBC, and then, we became a global dating app.
Beautiful. So what prompted the development of the app?
Yeah, so it's probably 5 years ago. I would go on online dates and meet women in person. And once I sat down at that bar, I quickly realized we didn't have chemistry or I wasn't attracted. And I started asking my dates beforehand if we could video chat. And the ones that agreed, I realized it was just so much better of a way of dating and getting to really know them before going on that in-person first date. And about 2 years later, there was no apps that provided this video first dating without the swipe. So decided to build it with my co-founder, and it really removes the swipe, and it really just facilitates like authentic romantic connection.
Gotcha. It reminds me, have you seen the Seinfeld episode? No, not Seinfeld. How I Met Your Mother, the Lemon Law?
No, actually, okay. I am familiar. Yeah, I am familiar with that. Yeah. Yeah, I am familiar. Yeah.
I've been on probably over 100 app-based, online-based dates. And when I was in the thick of it, I would always, I don't want to text. We can talk on the phone, that's fine, but I want to meet you in person.
As soon as possible.
Yeah. Because you can edit the crazy out of text messages that you just can't quite edit when you talk in person.
So you essentially wanted to design your own custom dating software, exactly what you wanted, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it was to really just solve my own pain point and really just, you can meet in person, but that's not very efficient.
Right.
Especially if you're going on a number of dates, again, traveling there, maybe if you're a woman doing your makeup beforehand, paying for drinks, especially in major urban cities, that could get fairly expensive.
Yeah.
So really, I saw video as that means of being very authentic still, much more authentic than text or even a phone call, but much more efficient than having to meet someone in person for your first date.
Gotcha. And so your app specifically is marketed towards finding your soulmate.
Yeah, we definitely skew to a more serious dater. I mean, you can be any sort of dater to use Filter Off, but it definitely skews more so to a serious dater just because it's like an event. You have to actually put a little bit of energy into it, like looking nice, being present in the moment. You can't be using Filter Off on the toilet like a typical swipe app.
Oh, well, you could, but not recommended.
We'll probably get reported and removed from that. So
yeah, fair.
I wouldn't try.
Yeah, it's not really a first date. It's more about a fourth or fifth date kind of thing. Right? No? Too much?
Fourth or fifth hundred.
Yeah. Whatever works, whatever floats your boat, but definitely not a first date.
Have you considered the possibility of like a friend finding component to it?
I mean, for us right now, our focus really is on dating. Every thing that you do that's diverts from the core mission definitely stretches yourself a little more thin.
Right.
Does that necessarily mean that we won't have that in the future? No. If it facilitates connection, I mean, we're just a platform to do that. And we really just want to nail down dating. Because if you can nail down dating, you can nail down any sort of connection. So that's our focus for the time being.
Gotcha. Do one thing well.
Exactly. And then always grow from there. And right now we're really focused on communities and enabling community organizers to really have insight of their community itself, analytics we provide them, ability to download the data. So just really enabling them to be successful running virtual speeding events as well.
Awesome. How does the app pay the bills? How does it make money?
Yeah, so right now we do have a white labeled option. So we're working with a few dating apps and services where they could have exclusivity on the app. So when their members do join, it looks like an app branded for their brand.
Wow.
So that's one option. Another thing, we'll be adding premium events in the near future. Sometimes when you attend a premium event, it definitely attracts, again, a more serious dater, someone who's looking for something commit than something that's free. And then we also offer a matchmaking service that's free at the moment, but we'll be monetizing that like a freemium. So if you want more than 3 curated dates every day, you could then pay for that.
Gotcha. And how has your approach to dating in general and the dating app changed due to COVID?
Yeah, I mean, pre-COVID, most people really weren't down for video dating. But the pendulum has really shifted to the other direction. People just really do care more so about quality nowadays versus just quantity. And they really want to be able to get to know the person before meeting up in person. So I always see video now going forward as being a core mechanism to kind of get to know your potential date before actually meeting in person, kind of like the first date before the first date.
Right. And with issues like safety, security, it's a good idea.
I mean, from a security standpoint, everything's encrypted in transit and in storage. From a safety perspective, being video first, I don't think there's anything that can be safer than that. When you're a text-based app, it's very easy to potentially get scammed. When you go on any of these dating apps, even paid ones, oftentimes their user base is filled with bots. So yeah, I mean, there's being video first really just, it allows you to get around allows you to get past scammers and bots and things like that because it's real.
Gotcha. Well, Raj and I both signed up for the dating app yesterday.
Yeah, we did was that your first Paleo Keto event last night?
So we run them recurring.
Okay.
That may have been our second or third event. So really what we're trying to focus on now is community. And I really believe when you have, especially if you're really into, let's say, health and nutrition, paleo diet or a keto diet, it's fun to meet like-minded singles who get it. And by having these theme-based events and allowing community organizers to create their own events for their own communities, it just creates that trust and instant connection where you may not have like a regular city-based event.
Right. I mean, we're in a small town in the Okanagan on the west coast of Canada. It's a small community just in general. Like our dating pool is not very big.
The only people we were expecting to see on that event that we're going to match with in our area were each other.
I'm sure. Yeah, the matchmaking service that we offer, you can actually adjust the radius and you can see a reach, low, medium, or high. Our events, some events are location based and some events are global, some are like USA, Canada. So when you're in the app itself, based off your location, you'll see the events that you can join.
Right. And your user base is predominantly US?
So we're all around the globe. Our biggest city is New York, followed by London. But we have a pretty large user base in Toronto, Montreal, Sydney, Australia. So we're global. I would say, yeah, about 55% is US based, but yeah, we're a global app, and people are dating and getting into relationships from around the world from our app.
Yeah.
Before we get into our experience from last night, I just like to ask, so what has your experience been like? Are you all hooked up? You like married now, or?
No, so I've gone on I've gone on a lot of dates on Filter Off. The reality is with dating, it's a process. Like most people probably will not be a fit, but it takes time. So I've gone on dates. I've gone on in-person dates from Filter Off as well. So like I said, it's a process. You have to be at the same place emotionally, looking for similar things. I am still single, but I have gone on a few dates from the app itself, and I am a user. So I think it's important to be a user of your own app, so you can be your largest critic in some ways, because we're constantly evolving and iterating. And the events that do best are by far the private community-based events, because people come, they attend, very high attendance rates, because they're all know why they're joining. They're part of this community. So.
Yeah. Well, we both signed up, and I had no idea the dating communities that were out there. You've got a list of things you can join. But there's no 500 miles option. It goes from 250 to 1,000.
We have 250. We have, I believe we do have a 500. If you update the app, well, so you're probably looking at the matchmaking service.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We have 250 to 1,000 to global. That's for the matchmaking service.
She just really wanted to sing the song.
I did. I wanted to.
I would laugh. I got it.
Yeah, everybody knows it. And so the community-based, the events are, they're a mix of communities, and they approach you. Like we did the event last night.
All within the app.
Yeah.
So we have public events, like the Paleo one that we run. That's hosted by Filter Off. But our best events, in my opinion, are, let's say, for example, we have a community called Dating Greek. It's Greeks that are single and people from Greek origin. And they had an event private. You needed a code to join, 250 attendees. They created hundreds of matches. They surveyed their users after. 94% wanted another event. So those are by far the best events, because they have that instant, that connection, that common thread. Our other public events are good, but definitely if, like, for example, a community organizer ran their own, those are by far the best events.
Okay, that makes sense. There's just an extra personal touch. What about the ratio of men to women on the app?
Well, we have a wait list that we're actually rolled out on a couple of the events. We're rolling it out on the rest of iOS, Android devices within the next 3 weeks. So if the ratio, if it ever gets out, you're added to the wait list, and you'll come off the wait list when the ratio balances out.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. When we were setting up our parameters and stuff, we had a heated argument about what average height was.
Yeah,
he actually put down his phone, and we had to consult with Google.
I think it's all, so again, all those parameters they pipe into our algorithm for Matchmaker.
Right.
And then we have deal breakers on a few of them: religion, ethnicity, but everything that you add, whether it's height or kids or fitness level, whatever you add, it weighs the algorithm to find you a quote unquote match for the matchmaking service. But
okay.
I hear you.
Okay. It's good to know the rules exactly and precisely. It was a very heated discussion. There's no spot for married people.
In what sense?
It says relationship status.
No, marriage status.
Marriage status.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, like we've had events that, for married people, again, however you like to date, you can create your own event. You could create your own event within the app itself and then share it with your own community.
Gotcha.
So we're pretty open-minded. However you like to date, you can date. And if you have a community for it. So unless it's like racist or something that does not go with our core values, we would reject the event.
That makes sense. Yeah. Did you want to speak about your experience yesterday?
Well, yeah, we can compare and contrast our experiences from last night. So I had, well, right before the event started, I think I only had 3 matches. As it went on, more were added. But obviously, Holly being the one that was closest to me, it was like one of my matches, and I canceled it right away. But of my first one actually had a bunch of technical issues. I think she was at maybe a coffee shop or something. It seemed like her connection was really not very good. It was really choppy. I like just caught like the quickest little glimpse of her, like just to know that that's kind of where she was, and she was wearing her COVID mask, and then like she cut out, called her back, cut out again, and then like just never happened. And then I had one match from Toronto, and we chatted for the 3 minutes. The 3 minutes, man, that is fast. And like it's good to know that it's like it's not like a first date. It is really just like a first impression. Can you see like talking to this person like again or whatever kind of thing. And then after that, all of my other matches canceled on me. So yeah. I only had the one date.
Yeah, well, and then in terms of, there's only so much you could do about an internet connection, whatever the virtual, whether you're using a Zoom or a Google Hangouts, that's on the device and the carrier. But yeah, so it's cool that you had the one date. I think the reality, what comes down to is there's not many apps. You could join any dating app, and how many you actually experience a video date. And the likelihood is it may take a week to get one. And I think that's the beauty of Filter Off, that you could get up to 7. But if you run your own private event, you can make it up to 15 dates. You can configure the time. You can make it 1 minute. You can make it 10-minute dates. And that's really the beauty of the community.
So that's the real focus, is the personalized events and the orchestrated events.
You had a question about that too, the mental health.
Yeah, so that leads me into, because you're in the mental health realm as well. Mm-hmm. We creeped your YouTube channel and website and blogs and stuff. Could you speak about maintaining mental health while dating? Because obviously having dates cancel, and I myself canceled some of my dates last night just because I was so overwhelmed by the number. So it was the opposite problem. And I did to other people what Raj was experiencing for no other reason but that I was overwhelmed. So how do you maintain your mental health while trying to date?
Yeah.
I guess those are 2 different questions, right? Like, I guess I would just ask, like, what, it sounds like you canceled because you're overwhelmed, but I would ask you, what was the feeling of being overwhelmed? What had you overwhelmed, right? Like, that would be the first question. Because every dater has a different experience, right? So I guess that's how I would start the question, because I can't make a blanket statement of like, every dater has a different experience, right? You get what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah. And we find that with all of the apps, between us, we have different experiences.
Yeah, I'm used to not getting any attention. And Holly, as a woman, gets lots of attention. So I know there's a very different experience between men and women in general, but
yeah. Well, typically, right, so our app, for our public events, we do our best to try to get you 7 dates. That's why Raj continued to get dates as those cancellations, because we continue to try to give you dates. In terms of cancellations, I mean, there's only so much I can say about that. It could be a million reasons. Maybe they got a phone call and they want to cancel. Maybe they were tired and low energy. So I can't talk too much into that, because the number of possibilities is endless. But what I
told Holly I want them all banned from the platform. I'll wait while you do that.
Well, I would recommend maybe creating your own event, and you could even sell tickets, right? Like, when you have a paid event, the likelihood of anyone canceling is basically 0.
Yeah, right.
So we also allow organizers to charge tickets as well. They keep all the revenue. So it helps small businesses, and it also definitely attracts someone who wants the maximum number of dates. And again, but to answer your other question, how do you stay mentally okay and emotionally okay? Again, that's a bigger question that I don't think would do justice in the next like 30 seconds. But I really believe video first is the healthiest way to online date. I mean, when you're swiping and you're basing someone off their picture and their bio, it's very 2D. It's not representative of that individual. You give a face-to-face, really human connection. It allows you to connect with another human at a much deeper level than anything a swipe could offer. So I think, in my opinion, that is the healthiest way to online date, is just to connect with people and connect with a few people, because dating is a process and you're not going to potentially find your person at that first event.
Right. Yeah. It's a huge question. And sorry to spring it to you right to the end.
I'm open to answering anything. And if I don't know something, I'm happy to admit that I don't know.
Is there anything in particular that you are looking to include in the platform moving forward? Like you mentioned some of the other paid things, but are there any other features or coming from your mental health perspective, is there anything that you're looking to incorporate?
Well, I think it's really just gearing organizers to best be able to be successful. So giving them a little script that they could send to their attendees, generating them assets for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So they're already like set, ready to go. So they don't have to create from scratch. So it's really just giving them this toolkit that they could use to be successful for the events, but also having certain triggers and notifications to keep marketing your event. Because if you only have 4 people that are attending your event, it will not be a successful event. We always recommend at least 30, but the bigger the number, the better, because it's a richer audience. And our matching algorithm is based off of age and gender preference. So if you have 200 people that are attending, the matches are going to be much higher quality than if you only had 10 people attending for that reason.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that sums it up. We've passed all the notes. Why the app name Filter Off?
Yeah, I mean, it's removing the filter, right? I mean, you go on apps, whether it's a dating app or a social network, everyone will post their best photo, oftentimes filtered, leading to potential catfish, leading to people sharing photos that on their dating apps that are 10 years old and not representative of what they look like. So yeah, I think what it comes down to is, how do you leverage technology to facilitate a really honest experience? And that's what Video First provides, which is Filter Off.
Awesome.
Can we leave you with one last question?
Of course, yeah.
We're wondering if you have any horrible dating experiences that you can share with us.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gone on dates where I could share like 2 examples where their photo is not representative of the individual, is highly filtered. And I've also gone on dates where their personality was just awful. And I really wanted to leave after literally like 10 minutes. And it's tough when you go on these in-person dates without doing any sort of like screening process, like a quick video chat. Because again, audio, phone call is not even representative of that experience as well. And a text, definitely not. So again, that's why I'm always about video first. And even if you're not using Filter Off, I highly recommend always transitioning to video as quickly as possible, so you don't waste your time in text and fantasizing about this person that they're not even about.
Right. Yeah. So you don't have to wonder if that's your date's dad when he actually shows up.
Pretty much, right? Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Oh, I've been there. I've totally been there. Okay, beautiful. So the app is available on Apple App Store and Google Play. Get Filter Off. And which?
Web, yep. And on the web. So if you type in getfilteroff.com, yeah, you can see iOS, Android. You could also log in directly from the web. So you could be super comfortable from your home office and take your dates from without holding your phone.
Yeah, so instead of reaching out via Instagram to ask about Raj's status, you can just download the app, set your parameters.
There you go.
Maybe do a video chat with my friend Raj here.
Thanks, Zach. That was a lot of fun.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate the time.
Have a great day.
Yeah, enjoy Mexico.
Thanks a lot. You too. Have a good one. Bye.
That was a great chat. We want to remind you to take care of your emotional and mental health while dating, because it can be so hard. It's tough, right? You're just trying to find somebody who likes you as much as you like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just have fun out there. Don't put too much on it. These apps can be soul crushers.
They can be. Yeah.
That's probably not what he wants us to say at the end of our interview with him.
Probably not, no.
Share some of your dating disaster stories down below.
Oh, that should be good. Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share, follow, and hit that bell button so you don't miss another update.
See you in the next video.